Sunshine spills over a bustling Spanish plaza as the day begins. Laughter, the clink of coffee cups, and a relaxed mañana vibe fill the air. Have you ever dreamed of living in Spain? In this documentary journey, we venture inside Spain in 2025, exploring what life is really like for locals and expats, from geography and culture to the cost of living, new visa options, vibrant cities, delicious food, renowned healthcare, and the warm Spanish lifestyle. We'll cover it all. By the end, you'll know who Spain is ideal for and whether this sunny slice of Europe feels like home. Vamos! Spain is located on the Iberian Peninsula in southwestern Europe, sharing borders with Portugal and France, and a short ferry ride from North Africa. It's a country of striking geographic diversity, sun-drenched Mediterranean beaches in the south, green mountains in the north, airy plains in the center, and even snowy peaks in the Pyrenees and Sierra Nevada. You can drive a few hours and go from surfing Atlantic waves in Basque Country to hiking in Andalusian deserts or skiing near Madrid. This varied landscape influences regional lifestyles and local pride. Culturally, Spain is a mosaic of distinct regions united under one flag. While Castilian Spanish, Español, is the official language nationwide, many regions have their own languages and identities. Catalonia speaks Catalan, the Basque Country its unique Euskera, Galicia its Galician dialect, etc. These aren't just languages but reflections of regional cultures that span centuries. Yet, across all regions, Spaniards share an infectious zest for life, a love of socializing, music, art, and festivals. From the passionate flamenco dances of Andalusia to the rhythmic Basque drumming in San Sebastian, tradition and modernity blend seamlessly. Spain's rich history is visible everywhere. Ancient Roman aqueducts, grand Moorish palaces like the Alhambra, Gothic cathedrals, and avant-garde modern art. This cultural heritage shapes a society that highly values family, community, and celebration. The lifestyle might surprise newcomers. The daily rhythm starts later. Many shops open around 10 a.m. Afternoons can include a siesta, or at least a long lunch break, and dinner rarely starts before 9 p.m. Nightlife and social gatherings stretch into the late hours, even on weekdays. Don't be shocked to see families with children out strolling plazas at midnight in summer. It's all part of the Spanish way of life. Despite recent inflation across Europe, Spain remains relatively affordable compared to many Western European countries. In fact, it's ranked among the cheaper countries in Western Europe, offering good value without sacrificing quality of life. But let's break down the costs you'll encounter day to day. Housing will likely be your biggest expense. Rent varies by city and neighborhood. In 2025, a one-bedroom apartment in a normal area of a mid-sized city averages around 700 euros per month, whereas in an expensive city center area, it could be closer to 1,000 euros. Larger apartments, 2 bedrooms, around 85 square meters, might cost about 1,000 euros in a non-central area, or 1,500 plus in prime locations. For example, in Madrid or Barcelona, expect higher rents, often 1,200 plus for a one-bedroom in the city center, while cities like Valencia or Sevilla offer lower rents, sometimes under 800 for a one-bedroom. If you venture to smaller towns or inland areas, rents can drop dramatically. It's not unheard of to find a village apartment for 400 to 500 euros. Many expats balance cost and comfort by living slightly outside city centers or sharing flats. Basic utilities, electricity, water, heating, garbage, are reasonably priced. A single person in a small apartment might pay around 70 to 100 euros per month on utilities, while a family in a larger home could see 150 or more, especially in peak summer, air conditioning, or winter heating months. High-speed fiber internet is widely available in cities and costs roughly 30 to 50 euros per month for home service. Mobile phone plans are inexpensive too. Many expats use prepaid or contract plans for 10 to 20 euros a month with ample data. All told, Spain's utilities and internet are cheaper than in the US and on par with most of Europe. Food in Spain is a highlight, and fortunately, it won't break the bank. On average, a person spends about 200 to 250 euros per month on groceries if cooking most meals at home. Fresh produce, local cheeses, wine, and bread are notably cheap. For instance, you can pick up a decent bottle of local wine for 5 euros, a loaf of bread for under 1 euro, and a kilo of oranges for around 1 euro. Markets are a way of life. Visiting the local mercado for fresh fish, meats, and veggies can be both economical and culturally enriching. If you enjoy dining out, Spain is very kind to your wallet. A menú del día, fixed lunchtime menu, typically costs 12 to 15 euros, often including 2 courses, bread, a drink, sometimes even wine, and dessert or coffee. Grabbing tapas with friends might set you back 2 to 4 euros per tapa plate. Overall, eating well is easy on a budget, one reason many expats rave about their improved quality of life here. Public transit is efficient and affordable in cities like Madrid or Barcelona. A single metro or bus ride is around 1.5 to 2 euros, and monthly transit passes cost roughly 40 to 60 euros depending on the city. In fact, 89% of expats find public transportation affordable in Spain. High-speed trains, AVE, connect major cities in just a few hours, e.g., Madrid to Barcelona in 2.5 hours, and, if booked in advance, can be reasonable. Gasoline is about the European average, so higher than US prices. But many expats find they don't need a car thanks to good transit. Also, Spain is very walkable and bike-friendly. Valencia and Sevilla have extensive bike lane networks, for example. Enjoying life in Spain can be as cheap or pricey as you make it. A movie ticket runs about 8 euros, a gym membership 30 to 50 euros a month, and a beer at a local bar maybe 2 to 3 euros. Wine is similarly inexpensive. Popular attractions like museums often have free entry days. Spanish cities host many free festivals and events throughout the year, offering fun without spending a cent. Of course, budgeting for some travel within Spain or Europe is wise if you want to explore beyond your city. So, what's the bottom line? According to Spain's National Statistics Institute, the average monthly expenses in 2023 were around 1,093 euros per person, about 2,718 euros per household, the highest in a decade due to recent inflation. To be safe, experts suggest budgeting at least 1,150 euros per person per month in 2025 for a comfortable life. That means a couple might live well on around 2,300 euros a month, and a family of 4 around 3,000 to 3,500 euros a month. By global standards, That's quite reasonable. In fact, a single expat's cost of around 1,800 euros a month is lower than in much of Northern Europe or North America. Many expats find they can enjoy a higher quality of life on the same income in Spain than back home, thanks to the moderate cost of living. Of course, affording life in Spain depends on your income. So next, let's talk jobs and salaries. What do people earn here, and what work can expats do? Spain offers a mixed picture when it comes to earnings. On one hand, salaries are lower than in the United States or Northern Europe, but on the other, the cost of living is lower too. And the famous Spanish lifestyle prioritizes work-life balance over big paychecks. Let's break down the basics of income. The average annual salary in Spain is about 30,000 euros gross, which comes out to roughly 2,500 euros per month before taxes. Keep in mind, this is an average across all industries and regions in 2023. In 2025, it's inching up a bit with inflation and economic growth. The minimum wage is comparatively high for Europe. Spain has the 7th highest minimum salary in Europe. As of 2024, it's around 1,080 euros per month, paid 14 times a year, which is the Spanish system, or roughly 15,120 euros per year. That said, many jobs pay more than minimum. For example, teachers, nurses, technicians, and so on often earn somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 euros a month. Higher skilled professions like IT, engineering, and finance can earn 2,500 to 4,000 euros or more monthly, especially in big cities. Income in Spain varies by industry. Fields like engineering, tech, finance, and healthcare tend to pay the best. For instance, engineers average around 2,700 euros a month, and IT jobs about 2,370 euros a month. Service-oriented sectors vital to Spain's economy, like hospitality and tourism, pay less. It's common for bar staff or store clerks to make around 1,000 to 1,200 euros per month. This might seem low to some foreigners, but remember that healthcare and education are largely free or low cost, and social safety nets are strong, which offsets some lower salary issues. Also, many Spaniards live with family longer or have dual income households to manage costs. Just as the cost of living changes by region, so do wages. Generally, Madrid and the Basque Country boast the highest salaries in Spain. For example, the Basque Country's average gross income is the highest, around 18,000 euros per capita per year, followed by Madrid. In contrast, in regions like Extremadura or Murcia, average incomes are substantially lower, around 11,000 euros per capita annually. This is important for expats to note. If you work for a local company, a job in Barcelona or Madrid will likely pay more than the same role in a smaller city like Granada or Alicante. However, if you bring your foreign salary or remote job, you can really leverage the lower cost areas. What do expats in Spain do for work? It depends on their background and language skills. Some fields have strong demand for English-speaking talent. A classic expat job is teaching English, either in schools or giving private lessons. Many Americans, Brits, and Aussies teach English in Spain. Although the pay, often 1,000 to 1,300 euros per month for assistants, isn't high, it's a foot in the door. Tourism and hospitality also hire many foreigners, especially in coastal areas and big cities. You might manage a hotel, work in a hostel, or run a scuba diving shop in the Canary Islands. Those with tech or digital skills often find jobs with international companies or startups in Madrid or Barcelona, or they work remotely. Additionally, multinational firms in Spain hire expats for their language skills and global experience, particularly if you speak Spanish plus other languages. It's worth noting that Spain's job market has had high unemployment historically, especially among youth. As of late 2024, unemployment was about 10 to 11%, the highest in the European Union. This means competition for jobs can be tough, and salaries don't rise as quickly. Expats often circumvent this by coming with a job in hand, or working freelance, or remote. Remote work has exploded in popularity, which leads us to an exciting development: Spain's new Digital Nomad Visa, designed just for people who want to work in Spain, but for a company elsewhere. Let's dive into that, because it's a game changer for many foreign residents in 2025. One of the most significant updates for would-be expats is Spain's Digital Nomad Visa, introduced in 2023 as part of the Startup Law. It's essentially a residency visa for non-EU citizens who work remotely, meaning you can live in Spain while working for a foreign employer or your own business online. By 2025, thousands have taken advantage of this visa to swap Zoom meetings in dreary climates for Zoom meetings by the Mediterranean. Here's how it works and why it's generating so much buzz. The Digital Nomad Visa has specific criteria. To qualify, you must prove you work remotely as an employee, freelancer, or business owner for clients or a company outside Spain. You can have a Spanish client or two, but no more than 20% of your income can come from Spanish sources. Applicants need to show they're qualified professionals, either hold a degree or have more than 3 years of work experience in their field. You also must have been working with your current employer or clients for at least 3 months prior to applying to show job stability. A clean criminal record and private health insurance are required, as well as proof of sufficient income to support yourself. Speaking of income, the financial requirement is tied to Spain's minimum wage. You must earn about 200% of the minimum wage. In 2024 to 2025, that equates to roughly 2,760 euros per month, or about 33,000 euros a year. If you have family members coming with you, you'll need to show a bit more for each dependent, around an extra 25% per family member. Proof can be pay stubs, client contracts, or bank statements. In practice, many digital nomads applying have salaries or business income well above that threshold, but it's the minimum to be eligible. The Digital Nomad Visa is quite generous in terms of length. If you apply from outside Spain, at a consulate, you'll typically get a 1-year visa to start. Once in Spain, you convert it to a residence permit, which can be extended. If you apply from within Spain, you may get the residency from the get-go. In fact, applicants applying from inside Spain have been approved with an initial up to 3-year residency permit. In both cases, the visa or residence can be renewed for up to 5 years total, as long as you continue to meet the requirements. 5 years of residency is significant. It can put you on the path to long-term permanent residency and even citizenship. Another big perk, you can bring your immediate family. Spouses or partners and children can get visas alongside you as dependents, allowing your whole family to enjoy life in Spain. Dependents will also need private health insurance and sufficient overall family income, but many families are now relocating under this scheme. Spain's Digital Nomad Visa stands out because it combines flexibility with Spain's inherent attractions. Unlike some nomad visas, Spain even lets freelancers take on some local gigs, up to 20% of income, which is great if, say, you're a freelance designer who might want a Spanish client. Nomads also love that Spain offers a high quality of life at a lower cost than, for example, France or the United Kingdom. The visa's creation acknowledges the obvious. People want to live in Spain for its sunny weather, vibrant culture, and prime location for exploring Europe. In fact, a recent global index ranked Spain as the #1 country for digital nomads in terms of overall attractiveness, citing its easy visa options, good internet, and safe, lively environment. While diving deep into taxes can get complicated, it's worth mentioning that Spain has a special Beckham law tax regime that many expats and digital nomads can use. This law allows newcomers to Spain to be taxed as non-residents for up to 6 years, meaning you pay a flat 24% income tax on Spanish-sourced income and no tax on foreign income in that period. For a remote worker earning income from a foreign company, this can be hugely beneficial. This is a big draw for high-earning professionals eyeing Spain, since normal Spanish tax rates can go up to 47% for top earners. Always consult a tax advisor, but know that Spain actively incentivizes foreign talent with these tax breaks. In short, the Digital Nomad Visa has opened the floodgates for entrepreneurs, freelancers, and remote employees to come live in Spain legally without having to find a local job. As a result, by 2025, you'll find lively communities of remote workers in Barcelona's cafes, coding on laptops by Valencia's beach promenades, or holding business calls from converted farmhouses in rural Mallorca. It's a new chapter in Spain's expat life, blending work and play under the Iberian sun. Of course, not everyone works remotely. Many expats still choose where to live based on local opportunities and lifestyle. So let's zero in on Spain's top cities for expats, especially the big three that constantly top the lists: Barcelona, Madrid, and Valencia. What's life like in each? And what are the pros and cons? Spain is a diverse country, and your experience can vary greatly depending on where you settle. 3 cities in particular have huge draw for foreign residents: Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia. In fact, in an expat survey, Valencia, Madrid, and Malaga were rated among the top expat destinations in the world for 2023, citing friendliness and ease of settling in. Each city has its own flavor, advantages, and a few drawbacks. Let's break them down. Madrid is Spain's capital and largest city, offering a cosmopolitan, lively, and cultural experience. As a hub, it boasts world-class museums, beautiful parks like El Retiro, and a vibrant food and art scene. You can find everything from traditional tapas bars to international cuisine. The nightlife is legendary. Being in the center of the country, Madrid is extremely well connected. You can reach most other cities by high-speed train or short flights. For career-minded expats, Madrid's job market is the most robust in Spain, especially in sectors like finance, technology, consulting, and education. Many multinational companies and startups have offices here, meaning more job opportunities for English speakers. It also has excellent international schools and a large international community, so families often feel at ease. As the capital, Madrid can be expensive, particularly housing. Real estate and rent prices are high, especially in desirable central districts. A city center 2-bedroom can easily cost 1,500 to 2,000 euros per month. Also, Madrid has no beach. Spain's glorious coasts are hours away, which for some is a deal breaker compared to coastal cities. Summers get extremely hot, and the city's fast-paced vibe might overwhelm those looking for a quieter life. Lastly, while most Madrileños speak some English, you'll want to learn Spanish to fully enjoy life here, as the expat bubble is more spread out than in touristy Barcelona. Overall, Madrid is ideal if you crave big city energy with Spanish soul. Think art, food, and career opportunities, but you should be comfortable with heat and a higher cost of living. Barcelona offers a rare mixed metropolitan city life with beaches at your doorstep. It's dynamic, international, and artistic. Expats are drawn to Barcelona's creative vibe. This is the city of Gaudí's whimsical architecture, avant-garde design shops, and a thriving tech startup scene. You'll find a large, English-speaking expat community here, so it's relatively easy to get by, initially, without fluent Spanish or Catalan. The public transportation is excellent. You can whisk around on the metro, buses, or trams easily. Culturally, Barcelona is a gem. Music festivals, art galleries, football matches at the legendary Camp Nou, and a never-ending lineup of neighborhood fiestas. And did we mention the Mediterranean? The city has several beaches of its own, and the coast north and south offers countless seaside escapes within an hour's train ride. Barcelona's popularity is a double-edged sword. It's one of the most expensive cities in Spain. It's also crowded. The city receives millions of tourists year-round, so at times you might feel like the whole world is visiting your neighborhood. This tourist influx contributes to a well-known issue: pickpocketing and petty theft, especially in busy areas like Las Ramblas or the metro. Barcelona is generally safe in terms of violent crime, but you have to watch your wallet and phone. Another consideration: Barcelona is in Catalonia, where the local language is Catalan. While nearly everyone speaks Spanish too, and expats can get by with English and Spanish, living long-term, you'll notice many signs, official documents, or local conversations in Catalan. It's part of the culture which many expats embrace by learning a bit. Lastly, some find that locals in Barcelona can be a bit more reserved toward outsiders than in smaller Spanish towns. Not unfriendly, but given the constant churn of visitors, it can take effort to integrate into local circles. Overall, Barcelona has it all: culture, jobs, beach, international flair, but at the cost of higher expenses and tourist crowds. Perfect for those who want a trend-setting city and don't mind a bit of hustle and bustle. Valencia, Spain's third largest city, often feels like a Goldilocks choice for expats. Not too big, not too small, just right. It's known for its year-round sunshine, beautiful urban beaches, and a much more relaxed, family-friendly atmosphere. Valencia is notably more affordable. Housing costs are about 20 to 30% lower than in Madrid or Barcelona, so your euro stretches further. The city is green and innovative. It was even named the European Green Capital for 2024 for its parks and sustainable initiatives. You'll enjoy the Turia Gardens, bike lanes everywhere, and a modern science museum complex that looks straight from a sci-fi movie. Culturally, this is the home of paella, Spain's signature rice dish, and locals are proud of it. Valencia has a mix of historic charm and modern development. For expats, there are growing opportunities in remote work and tourism here, and an emerging tech scene with startups and a big annual innovation conference. The expat community isn't as huge as Barcelona's, but it's very active and closely knitted. Plus, many locals speak some English and are quite welcoming. Safety is high, and traffic is calmer than bigger cities. Valencia's popularity is rising, and with it, tourist numbers and housing prices. While still cheaper than the big two, rents have been climbing, and finding that perfect beachside apartment is more competitive than a few years ago. Summers in Valencia are hot and humid, though the sea breeze helps. Some expats note that high-paying jobs are fewer here. You might need to already have a remote job, or be prepared to earn a bit less locally. Another consideration, Valencian language, a regional form of Catalan, is co-official here. In practice, you'll hear mostly Spanish in the city, but official signs or documents might use Valencian. It rarely poses a problem, but it's part of the culture you'll gradually learn. Finally, while not a con for everyone, Valencia offers a quieter vibe. It's not as heavy on nightlife or big events as Madrid or Barcelona. Overall, Valencia is a fantastic choice for those who want a coastal life with urban amenities without the price tag or pace of a megacity. It's especially loved by digital nomads, young families, and retirees alike for its balance of affordability, culture, and comfort. Quick note: beyond these three, Spain has other expat magnets. Malaga is a sunny favorite for retirees and remote workers. Seville offers historic charm and flamenco spirit. Alicante and Marbella attract many foreigners to their beaches, and islands like Mallorca or Tenerife promise an island lifestyle. In fact, Malaga and Alicante joined Valencia in topping recent expat city rankings globally. But Barcelona, Madrid, and Valencia give a good spectrum from which many newcomers choose their adventure. No matter which city or town you land in, one thing unites everyone in Spain: a love of food and local traditions. Let's savor that next. If there's a shortcut to falling in love with Spain, it's through its food and festivals. Spain's cuisine and cultural traditions are not just famous, they're an everyday way of life that you, as an expat, get to partake in. Spaniards take their food seriously, not in a fancy way, but in a joyful, communal way. Meals are social events, often shared with family or friends. You'll quickly adapt to the rhythm of a light breakfast, a hearty late lunch around 2 p.m., and a late dinner around 9 or 10 p.m. In between, there's the beloved tapas tradition. Rather than one big dish, you order many small plates to share. Hopping from bar to bar trying different tapas is a popular evening pastime. Iconic Spanish foods vary by region. In Valencia, paella is king. In the Basque country, you'll savor pintexos with a glass of local Texacoli wine. Andalusia, in the south, gave us gazpacho and incredible sherry wines. Catalonia has dishes like escudella stew and crema catalana. Of course, foods like jamón ibérico, tortilla española, and churros con chocolate are beloved nationwide. As an expat, discovering these regional specialties is like a delicious treasure hunt across the country. Dining out in Spain is both affordable and deeply ingrained in the lifestyle. You'll notice how lively restaurants and terraces are, especially on weekends. Spaniards might cook at home during the week, but come weekend, it's common to gather a big group at a restaurant or have a Sunday lunch with family that lasts for hours. The concept of sobremesa, lingering at the table after a meal, just chatting and relaxing, is practically a tradition in itself. Don't expect rushed service. Here meals are to be lingered over and enjoyed. Spain has no shortage of festivals. It sometimes feels like there's a fiesta every week somewhere. Each city, town, even tiny village has its own celebrations, often tied to historical or religious events, and they welcome everyone to join in. Some of the most famous include Las Fallas in Valencia, La Tomatina in Buñol, Running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Semana Santa in Andalusia, Feria de Abril in Seville, and Carnival in Cadiz and Tenerife. Nearly every town has a yearly festival for its patron saint, often involving unique traditions. As an expat, joining these celebrations is one of the best ways to feel part of the community. You'll find locals are very welcoming when they see you enjoying their traditions. Don't be shy. Learn a few dance.